What was so helpful to me about bringing you in at that time is because my brain knew all of this, right? And all the information was in my brain. Even now, all the information runs through my brain. But the great part of using someone like you is there can be a disconnect between what you know and what action gets taken. And so every time, when we brought you in and we were working with you, we knew we were meeting at this time every week, or you were meeting with leadership and creating these processes. So I didn't have to turn that over in my head constantly. And we were constantly moving the needle on getting this stuff done, because taking on SOPs is a process. I mean, it isn't just, oh, I'm going to write a few things down that I have in my head. I mean, you really have no idea what you're getting into until you realize they say you should have a process for turning on the lights in your building or whatever. And so what was so helpful to me and Brent, because we're not really integrators, obviously, you know that about us, is that using you, it was all getting done and we didn't have to think about it anymore, right? We found someone who this was their gift. I think it's important to be able to bring in people who can use their gifts. This was getting done and we didn't even have to turn it over in our brains anymore. We talk about, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We know what works, but there's a knowing and then there's an action that has to, implementation that has to happen. And some things you tweak, right? Like we knew some things we wanted to tweak this for Champion. For us, it was just such a great experience because it was sitting on the back of my mind for so long that we needed to do this, but I couldn't figure out when was I going to sit down and find the time. And I had no desire to sit me down and take things out of my brain. I don't want to do that.
No, it sounds scary. It sounds stressful.
It is stressful, but what Adee does is she sits you down and she talks, and you don't have to write anything. It's all through video. She takes the notes, she implements it, she creates all of it in Sweet Process for you. And then as you get through it, you can tweak things, right? And that's the easy part, is going back and tweaking something. It's the initial foundation that you're setting up. It's essentially the blueprint for your business. I've said this a million times before, Adee has been such a blessing to Brent and I, and anyone that wants to come and ask me personally, I can't say enough about her. She helped us unravel so many things that we needed help with in our business. Even having a good blueprint already, she just helped quiet a lot of the chaos.